My name is Sherry Westmoreland, and I'm with the Cincinnati Pride Grant Support Services. And so we're here to talk to you about this wonderful opportunity that you have in getting the grant for the Cincinnati Pride Grant BE. Students who graduated from Cincinnati Public Schools, and you are here, and along with your Pell Grant and other opportunities that you have, the CPG will help you to be able to complete your education.
So since this is your home college, as you are navigating and figuring things out, please feel free to stop by my office. I'm happy to help answer questions. Sherry and Chris are your experts on the Cincinnati Pride Grant, but I'm happy to help in the interim in trying to figure things out or know how to ask questions or finding the resources here at Blue Ash. So that will be my role in this, is just kind of being somebody in your corner to help you get the resources and access to the things you need here at Blue Ash. Another piece of this is at UC Blue Ash, we will have some sort of success coaching. You'll get more information from us about that over the course of the summer. But success coaching will be some coaches here on campus that will help you make sure that you can navigate the academic, financial, and social aspects of being successful here at college. So one of the things Chris and Sherry will talk about are some of the requirements you have to uphold to maintain your Cincinnati Pride Grant. We'll have success coaches here at Blue Ash that will help you navigate those policies, help remind you of what those are, and to give you access to some of those resources that are available here at Blue Ash. And I'll be kind of helping supervise those success coaches. So that's one piece of it. We'll get there along the way, but I just wanted you to know that you have a friendly face here that can help answer questions as you are transitioning here to Blue Ash. So we're excited to have you. I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues here.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I am kind of loud, and I would be surprised if you couldn't hear me. Okay, so my name is Christopher Allen. I am a financial aid advisor here at UC, and I am the Pride Grant financial advisor as well. Basically, what we're going to go over just your eligibility requirements. How were you eligible to receive the Pride Grant? The guidelines surrounding the Pride Grant program, and how to maintain that eligibility each and every year. So basically, with the Pride Grant, it is an award specifically for Cincinnati public school grads. What is the Pride Grant? What is the Cincinnati Pride Grant? So it is a grant that is determined with your financial aid eligibility. It is for all Cincinnati public high school graduates that have been accepted to UC. It combines with other grants to meet the cost of your program's specific tuition, and provides an additional amount for book expenses as well. And it offers specialized academic support services and resources for your usage. So to receive it, you must have a 2.2, at least a 2.2 GPA coming out of high school. You must be federal Pell Grant eligible, which you would only know from completing your FAFSA each and every year. You must be a CPS grad, which you all are. And you must have no other college credits unless they are approved credits that were earned while in high school or approved credits from Cincinnati State. So that is how you became eligible to receive it. Now, if you just so happen to be coming into UC with a GPA below that minimum, if you earn a 2.25 during your first semester, then the following semester you would become eligible for the Pride Grant. So, the Pride Grant itself, it is combined with the federal Pell Grant and other grants that have been offered. So, it is only good for a maximum of 4 years or 8 semesters. So once you begin in fall semester, once you begin to receive it, that clock starts to tick. It will adjust to match whatever your tuition charges are. So there are a varying degree of program fees that are assessed to students, whether you are here at Blue Ash or once you even get to the Clifton campus. So say if you transfer from here to the Clifton campus, you'll be in a bachelor's degree program and your tuition would be much higher. The Pride Grant would be adjusted to make up for that increase in your tuition. It is tuition restricted. So that means this grant is geared only toward your tuition charges. So it can be limited by other tuition restricted awards. One primary example of that is tuition remission. Is anybody familiar with what that is? So basically what that is the funding that is awarded to students that have a parent or guardian that is an employee of the university. That is the free funding that you receive if you have a parent or guardian in that position. Also, if you happen to receive any specific scholarships that are specifically geared toward tuition, that can affect your Pride grant as well, depending on how much in those scholarships you receive or how much in the tuition remission you receive. So if you don't have either one of those, being the tuition remission and any tuition restricted scholarships, then your Pride grant would not be affected. Please keep in mind, your Pride grant amount is determined by other grant eligibility. So the Pride grant that you're awarded, that alone does not equal your program-specific tuition. It is combined with any federal grants that you've been awarded. Each student can have a different amount in the Pride grant, so for the most part, no two Pride grant amounts are the same. What is not covered by the Pride grant? So, anything other than tuition. So tuition, that is the charge associated with the classes you are registered for. So, outside of those classes, anything else that appears on your bill, like if you're going to live on campus, so any room and board charges, if you're going to have UC student health insurance, if you're going to have a Metro Pass or a parking pass, you name it. The Pride grant does not cover any of those additional expenses. Should any additional expenses appear on your bill besides your tuition, the amount that is allotted for the book allowance, that is absorbed into those additional charges. The book allowance is not a separate stipend that is awarded to you. It's only refunded to you if you only have tuition charges on your bill for the semester. Also, please keep in mind, changing your major. That may lengthen the amount of time that you're going to be here at UC, but that does not extend your Pride grant eligibility. So, if you are going to be here, you're going to be majoring in whatever it is that you choose to major in, please make sure it is what you want to do. Because the longer you stay here as a result of any changes in your major, that can result in you being here longer and possibly spending more money to obtain that degree. The Pride grant is not awarded during co-op terms. So basically, the co-op is short for cooperative. This is an experience that allows you to gain valuable, not only educational related credits related to your major, but real life, real world work experience related to your potential career path. So not only are you going to get that valuable experience just in life, but this goes toward your academics as well. For most students, this is a requirement depending on your major. A lot more, for other students, this is optional. So for students that choose to go down the co-op path or have to go embark on the co-op path, if you are a Pride grant recipient, you do not get the Pride grant during that semester in which you are on co-op. That is because you're not getting charged for any classes because you're not registered for classes. You're not full-time during that semester, so you're not charged any tuition. So the only fee that you'd actually be charged for during that given semester that you're on co-op is the co-op fee of $465. So that is something to keep in mind. Also, your eligibility can change based off of FAFSA completion and the verification process. It is a random audit process conducted by the Department of Education just to make sure the information entered on your FAFSA is accurate and correct. So as a result of being selected for this random process that roughly 30% of all FAFSA filers are selected for, you may have to submit something related to your tax information, your W-2s, perhaps your parents' income information, you name it. That might have to be submitted by you just to prove everything on your FAFSA is correct. So Depending on the outcome of that process, that can alter your Pell Grant eligibility, which could in turn adjust your Pride Grant eligibility. So, if you're not sure whether or not you have been selected for verification, that information would be listed on your UC Catalyst accounts under your to-do list. So as long as you log into your Catalyst accounts on a regular basis, make sure that to-do list is cleared. Any outstanding items would be under that list. Also keep in mind, students cannot take classes elsewhere and remain eligible for the Pride Grant. So any credits that you earn must be obtained through UC through approved programs. Your Pride Grant eligibility is based off of your Pell Grant eligibility. So once you are no longer eligible for the federal Pell Grant, you are no longer eligible for the Pride Grant. Pell Grant eligibility ends once you obtain your first bachelor's degree. So even if you get finished with your studies, you obtain that degree, even if you would have otherwise had semesters remaining in the Pride Grant, you would not be able to receive it beyond that given semester. The Pride Grant can be used for the 3 semesters throughout the year, for any of the 3 semesters throughout the year. As long as you are registered at least full-time, that is 12 credit hours. On average, most classes are 3 credit hours, so that's 4 classes, 12 credit hours full-time. And again, that can be used anytime, fall, spring, and summer. For the most part, students go by the fall and spring schedule. Summer is optional, but yeah, a lot of students also choose to go fall, spring, and summer. A few financial aid tips. Please be sure to complete the FAFSA each and every year. That is the only way you can receive your Pride Grant. Even though we haven't started the 1920 year yet, for the 2021 year, that FAFSA will be available in just a little over 4 months. So make sure by the time October 1st rolls around, you have it in your mind to get the FAFSA done. And don't worry, I will be sure to send a friendly reminder via email, maybe 2, maybe 3 reminders, that October 1st is around the corner, and for you to get that FAFSA done as soon as possible. Please make sure you review your financial aid awards. Make sure you are aware of any potential out-of-pocket expenses you might have. The largest surprise cost that students encounter, the cost of books. Make sure you are aware of those potential costs. Check your emails daily. Please get in the habit of checking that daily. There are plenty of times where there's going to be nothing but time-sensitive information being sent to your UC email account. It could be from the one-stop center, it could be from the financial aid office, it could be from a professor letting you know that class is canceled for the next day, but yet you show up to class and you're the only one there because why? You didn't see the email. Make sure you check your emails on a regular basis. Make sure you seek academic and financial aid advising before dropping any classes. If you get in the habit of dropping classes, it can affect not only your financial aid standing, but your academic standing as well. You want to make sure you're not veering too far off the path of your curriculum, as well as not affecting your financial aid eligibility for the future. And lastly, maintain good academic standing. So in your folders, there should be 2 separate sheets regarding satisfactory academic progress. One is the satisfactory academic progress policy itself, and the other is the self-assessment worksheet. To summarize the policy itself, it is comprised of meeting these 3 components. Obtaining at least a 2.0 GPA. You must maintain a cumulative 2.0 GPA after your 2nd year of enrollment. You must complete your degree within 1.5 times the length of your published credit hour requirement. What does that mean? So, for those of you that are here, your program is going to take 60 credit hours for you to complete. So 1.5 or 150% of that, 1.5 times that, that is 90. So you can take up to 90 credit hours. 60 of those have to be dedicated toward the degree in which you are looking to obtain. Otherwise, you're not meeting that component. 67% PACE. Students must satisfactorily complete a minimum of 67% of any credit hours attempted. So, an example, say if you are registered for 18 credit hours, 6 classes, 18 hours, 6 classes, 3 hours each. You decide, you know what, 2 of these are kind of tough. I don't know if I'm going to pass. I need to drop 2 of these. So now, just like that, you're only going to finish with 4 classes for 12 hours after starting with 18 hours. 12 out of 18, that is not 67%. If we round it up, it would be 67, but that number's not rounded. That number's truncated at the decimal, cut off. Right. So 12 out of 18 is 66, not 67. Please make sure you don't get in the habit of dropping too many classes. That will affect your academic standing and your aid eligibility. Quick story. So here's an example of academic progress. There was a student named Sam, last name Student, that's a real name. Fall semester enrolls in 15 credit hours, 5 classes, 3 hours each, 15 total hours. Does not go to class, gets Fs and whatever that is next to that, WX. You get uglier looking Fs in college. Anybody want to know or take a guess what a WX is? That is a That is if you withdraw from the class and you had literally 0 participation. You didn't submit a single assignment, you were barely even there. You don't want to get that. That'll affect your eligibility as well. So, why did this student get a 0.0? Why? What happened? What happened to get nothing but a 0.0?
No attendance, no work done.
Like they hung out all the time, they hung out all through the week. Why? What was going on? Tuesday night, Taco Tuesday. Wednesday, Wet n Wild Wednesday. Thursday, Thursday. Friday and Saturday, don't need a nickname. Sunday, they plan to act on all of the missing assignments. They plan to work on all of that, but all they did was sleep all day. Woke up Monday, classes are scheduled 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Never make a schedule like that. And they slept through the day again, and just like that, they did the same exact thing for the next 15 weeks. That's how you get those grades. So the end of the semester came, they realized, I have to make a change. A few friends got kicked out of school, a few friends decided to leave school. So they're just standing there like, maybe I should actually put forth a little bit of effort and make something happen. So Sam registers for 15 more hours, actually does kind of good, gets a 3.0 for the spring. Just like that, Sam's doing good, right? Not at all. So yeah, they got a 3.0 in the spring, but their cumulative is just a 1.5. Their PACE is only 50%. They only earn credit for 50% of their classes. So just like that, they're not meeting academic progress. Just like that, they have no aid for the next school year. Now, should you find yourself in a situation like this, yeah, you can appeal and get your aid back, but you don't want to find yourself in this situation to begin with. Make sure you're on top of it from the start. Make sure you are on top from the start. So, again, stay on top of your finances. Do not ignore any emails from One Stop or the Financial Aid Office. It can contain time-sensitive information, perhaps regarding your financial aid award or any charges on your bill, you name it. Meet any deadlines. Make sure you meet any and all deadlines related to applying for financial aid or submitting items for verification, you name it. Don't let your financial obligations slip, or else you can potentially find yourself in a lot of trouble, i.e. getting late fees added on to any unpaid bills. Make sure you budget throughout the semester. Make sure you're not overspending any money that you have. This is not just related to your financial aid, just your general well-being and your general living. Do not overspend. Make sure you have control of your money. Always know the status of your financial aid package as well as your student bill. You want to make sure you have that peace of mind knowing that everything is taken care of, because if not, you can find yourself in trouble with late fees that add up pretty quickly. And again, meet any deadlines. Please be sure to meet any and all deadlines. Not just financial aid related, but academically too. Please make sure you are on top of that. That does it for the financial aid portion of this orientation session. I'm going to pass it along to Dr. Westmoreland, and she's going to talk to you all about the academic side and student support side for the Cincinnati Pride Grant.
All right. I am here to really help you to be able to maintain and keep your Cincinnati Pride Grant. And one of the things that we realize is that for freshmen, first-year students, we want you to be aware of all of the support services that are available, those services that will help you to be able to take the 12 credit hours, to get above a 2.0 GPA. And so what we have are some tips for success. Now, the first thing that I want to just kind of ask you about is, how much time do you think that you need to be studying in order to be successful in college?
9 hours.
Huh?
9 hours a
9 hours
day.
a day. Okay, any other suggestions for how many hours you need to be studying? Have you ever heard that being in college, and especially taking a full load, is like having a full-time job? Have any of you ever heard that? Nobody oh, you've heard it. Okay. Now, on the average, we are asking you to take 12 credit hours. That's full-time status. But you can take credit hours from 12 to 18. Credit hours with your tuition. So some of you will be taking 15 credit hours, but we need you to take 12. Now, there is a formula that we use for the amount of time that you need to be studying. And we say that you need to study at least 2 to 3 hours per credit hour. So, if we say 2 hours per credit hour, how many hours a week, if you're taking 12 credit hours, would you need to be studying?
40. Well, are we counting weekends too?
12 times 2,
24.
24.
Are we counting the weekend?
It's whenever you want to study. So, you'll be in class for 12 credit hours. You need to study an additional 24 hours. So so that's full time. 36 hours is like a full-time job. So that is probably the amount of work that you're going to get that would require that much time in order for you to be successful. When people study less than that, they tend to not be successful and end up like Sam or Susie's student. All right, so that is just a tip that I want you to be thinking about. Now, I hear people talk a lot of different things about, well, I have to work, I have all these other obligations. When you find yourself in that situation, you may end up having to study on the weekends or study in between classes. There are different things that you can do to get that time in. And we can sit down with you and even the success coaches that you have here can sit down with you and help you to kind of figure out what are the best times for you to study so that you can get that study time in. Now, in order to be accepted, our basic requirements are the 2.0 GPA, the 12 credit hours, be in good standing, and keep up with your academic progress. On the support side, we ask for fall semester, we ask you to attend 5 success workshops. And these are workshops that will either be offered here on this campus or on the Clifton campus. And there is information inside of your folder about the Learning Commons. And they have success workshops on time management, study skills, all of the different things that you might need to help you to study better or to be able to handle that. So for the fall semester, 5 success workshops, and they tend to be an hour long. So you have to do 5 of them. For that's the Learning Commons paper. So it should look like this, thank you. It should look like this. But, like we said, there will be some workshops offered here on this campus. So you'll have 5 of those. In the spring, we ask you to do 5 tutoring sessions. And there is a lab here on UC's Blue Ash campus where you need to go in that lab and get 5 hours of tutoring sessions. And you don't even have, if you don't need the tutoring, just go in the lab, you'll be able to get some assistance, or just use that time where you're in that lab. We want you to be aware of all the resources. So the workshops, when are you to do the workshops? What semester? Fall semester. When are you to do the 5 hours of tutoring? Spring semester. Very good. And in addition to that, we will be following you. As long as you're in the Cincinnati Pride Grant Program, we will watch your grades. We will watch your 12 credit hours, and we will watch whether you get below a 2.0. If you don't make the 11 or the 12 credit hours and you fall below a 2.0, you could be in one of 2 categories. We have the watch category, and these are people who had a really good semester and maybe had a 3.5, but then the next semester had a really bad semester and they got below a 2.0. But by the time that it all figured out, they were still above a 2.0. Those people will get a letter from us, and they will need to have an appointment with us so that we can talk to them to find out what happened in that semester to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So those are our watch lists, and you'll get a letter or an email from our educational advisor wanting you to come in and talk with them. Then there's the warning list. The warning list is anyone who falls below the 12 credit hours and also has below a 2-point GPA. Those students that are on the warning list could be in jeopardy of losing their CPG funding. You definitely have to come in and talk to us, and it really all depends on what was going on, how far you fell below the 2.0, whether you would get to keep your Pell Grant, your Cincinnati Pride Grant or not. So it could be taken away. we would put you on a plan so that you could get a 2.0 GPA the next semester, and then you can get your Pride grant back. So we'll work with you, but some people have lost their grant, and so they have to come to us, we talk with them, we put them on a plan, and then they can get it back. So it's very important that if you get one of those letters, a watch letter or a warning letter, that you do come to talk to us, all right? The next one is, just like with Chris, please look at your emails. We will send out emails to you to tell you exactly what you need to do. In addition to that, we collect midterm grades from all freshmen. So you will get an email from me with a form where you need to go to all of your professors and ask them to identify what your midterm grade is. And then that form needs to be given to me. And you can send it, you can also give it to your success coach, and they'll make sure that we get it. There are two reasons why we do the midterms. One is that you know where you stand at midterm. There's a lot of students that don't even realize what grades they have at midterm, and it's not until they really see it on that piece of paper where they stand in that class. And the other is so that we can know where you stand at midterm, to see if there's anything that we can do to help you so that you are successful at midterm, so that you are successful during that, that semester. All right? Tutor track is how you will schedule with us. So if you need any information or if you need an appointment, you would use the tutor track, and we'll talk more about that in information that you get from us. All right, there is the Easy Ride discount card that if you are going to, or if you live in a different area or close to the Clifton campus, you can take the shuttle out here, and that's free, but then this is also, the Easy Ride is with the Metro. So there's a special discount that you can get to have that Easy Ride card and to be able to come out here on the Metro or even get to campus on the Metro. Then that's our UC shuttle that comes out here. And there's also a mobile app that you can get, and they'll tell you where the bus is or the shuttle is, and help you to be able to get out here. UC has a lot of opportunities for you. And if you're somebody that likes to get involved with all types of activities, there is a word that you're going to have to learn to use probably more often than you probably ever had to use, and that's say no. People are going to show you all kinds of opportunities and all kinds of things that you can do, but you can't do everything. So we really ask you to look at things and make sure that the first thing is that you do your work. The reason why you're at UC is that you want to get an education. Things may sound good, and people have sales pitches and it'll sound great, but then once you get into it, it's more time than what you thought it was. And so we really want you to make sure that the things that you're involved in, that it really does not conflict with your academics. If your academics suffer, then your grades will suffer. If you can't handle your time, you suffer, because then you don't have time to do your academics. And then you just get stressed out or burn out, and then you won't want to do anything. So it's important that you learn to say no. All right, you do have that flyer in there about the Learning Commons, so that's information for you. So now I'm going to read each of these statements, and they will cover all the things that we have talked about. I want you to put your initial by each of those statements, because I want to make sure that you hear this, so that if anything comes down and you don't like that we're taking your money from you, I'm going to say, pull out your paper, because you signed and you know exactly what you're supposed to do. I understand to receive the CPG, you got the first one. I understand that I must complete the FAFSA form, you got that one. I understand that during each semester of my first year, I am required to meet with the CPG Educational Advising staff and to submit a midterm progress report. Everybody got that? All right. Okay, you understand about the grant commitment, the 8 in-class semesters. I understand the CPG is not a separate full tuition grant awarded in addition. It is not a separate, but a full tuition grant awarded in addition to my other grants. But it is a grant combined with my other offered grants to meet the cost of my program specific tuition, including the book allowance. I understand that I will not be charged for full-time tuition during my co-op terms. I will not receive the CPG during those terms. I understand that changing my major, program, discipline, and/or adding an optional minor or certificate does not extend my CPG eligibility beyond the already established maximum number of 8 full-time in-class semesters. I understand that UC reserves the right to adjust my awarded CPG amount if I receive any additional need-based assistance, that's scholarships or grants, that affect my aid eligibility. I understand that federal and state grants and institutional aid are applied to tuition and program-related fees first. The CPG is added to my tuition and program-related fees after the aforementioned funds are applied. I understand that I must register for 12 credit hours. I understand that I must maintain a minimum cumulative university grade point average of 2.0 to retain my eligibility. Now here's a caveat. This is what we would like, but it's based on the federal guidelines of 2.0. I understand that if I fall below a 2.5 GPA, withdraw from classes, or receive an incomplete grade in the previous semester, I may be required at the beginning of each semester to meet with the educational advisor and to comply with academic success plans prior to the CPG being awarded. We want you to be successful. All right. I understand that I must meet with my academic success coach at least once each semester during my first year. I understand that during my first year, I am required to attend at least 5 success workshops, that's fall semester, and attend at least 5 academic coaching or tutoring sessions spring semester offered by the Learning Assistance Center, and then there are the names of the labs for the Blue Ash area. I understand that I must meet the federal guidelines for satisfactory academic progress each academic year to receive any federal aid. I understand that UC provides academic support services specifically designed to assist students, and it is my responsibility to access these support services, which will increase the likelihood of my academic success. I understand that I will contact the CPG Financial Aid Advisor regarding any financial aid related CPG matters by email, and that email is given, or by phone, and that number is there. So you either put, I hereby accept this, or I decline the offer, and then tell us why you decline it. Okay?